أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So first of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, so my name's Ameena Blake, and I've been Muslim for maybe like 27 years now. So 1992 I became Muslim, a long time ago. I'm not going to tell you how old I was when I became Muslim, because you're going to do the calculation and then you'll know how old I am. So my journey into Islam was very different. MashaAllah, that's an amazing story. I've never heard a story like that before. Amazing. So my journey into Islam was one of, first of all, questioning what is the truth. So I was brought up as a Christian, and I went to church, but I wasn't convinced by the Bible. I wasn't really convinced that the Bible was truly the Word of God. I'm a very logical person. If you say to me something is true, then you're going to have to prove it to me, or I'm just not interested. And that's just me. Obviously quite a difficult teenager because of that. So I was at a time of my life when I was 17, 18, where I was pretty unsettled, and I used to go out night clubbing, and I used to, do all the stuff like that normal English girls do. I came from a good background, alhamdulillah. My father was a professor, and my mother was an artist and poet in Sheffield. But during my journey, I met a lot of Muslims, but didn't see any Islam. Such is life. Yes. So I went to school with Muslims, I had friends who were Muslims, but I didn't really see any Islam, because these were Muslims who were not practicing. They were just Muslim fil ism, مش fil amal. So by the name and not by the actions. Because I know Malaysians, you all learn Arabic at school and stuff, right? Yeah, I know that. MashaAllah. يعني نعم. مش ممكن كله في العربي، بس ممكن شوية يعني إنجليزي والعربي الاثنين إن شاء الله. تمام. Okay. So I used to go night clubbing with a Muslim girl. Yeah, Pakistani Muslim girl, who was quite a bit older than me, and she was a very miskina tayyiba. She was a very nice person. And I came to a point in my life where I had to leave the place where I was living, and I didn't have anywhere to go. So the first thing she said was, "Ta'ali indi, beiti beitik, khalas. Like, my house is your house. Come and live with me." So I went and I stayed with her. Now, in my parents' house, there were, of course, a lot of books, because it's a professor of English language and linguistics, so there's a lot of books. But in her house, there was one book, and it was the Quran. في الإنجليزي وعربي، في عربي وفي إنجليزي الاثنين، تمام? So I said to my friend, can I look? Can I have a look at this book? So I thought, look, yeah, something to do. Because there was no internet then. It's a long time ago. You guys, mashallah, none of you were born then. So she said, you have to wash your hands first. She said, wash your hands first, and then you can, it's like a cultural thing. Actually, it's not considered a mushaf, because it's more English than Arabic, but she was being like respectful. She didn't really understand. So I was like, okay, no problem, go and wash my hands. So I opened the Quran, and I saw language and stories which reminded me of my Christian background. I saw the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. I saw the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. And as a Christian, I loved these stories, because I learned about these stories in the church school. Yeah, so في الكنيسة في مدرسة زي هذه، بس في كنيسة. أنا كنت سريرة، أنا كنت عندهم، تمام؟ تعلم البايبل وكل شيء، there were the prophets in there, the same stories, very similar stories. So I saw them and I was like, wow, what is this? Because in the schools in England, the kids are taught Islam is something, Allah is a God, and the Christian God is a different God. We didn't know that it's the same thing. Allah is God, God is Allah. I didn't understand that. So I asked questions to my friend. Okay, she says, I said, what's the Quran? She said, it's the word of God, it's truth. So what did I say? Win a deal. Where is the proof that this book is true? You're going to tell me this is Kalam Allah? Prove it. She couldn't, of course, because she didn't have the ilm, the knowledge. So she asked her next door neighbour, who was this guy who was a Sufi brother, English. Now at that time there's not many white people who are Muslim. And so I looked at this guy and I was like, are you crazy? Like, what, are you dressing like an ethnic? And we're going nightclubbing and you sitting with your joss sticks and you know all this stuff going on in the what, are you crazy? But anyway, mashallah, he was a nice guy. So I said, right, okay, prove to me that this is Kalam Allah, this is the word of God, and tell me about this Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I want to know. Now I'm going to move offline now. When you لو حتدخل الإسلام لازم حبتين. You have to have two things, two elements. العلم صح؟ إيش ثاني؟ قلب. لازم قلب والإيمان. You have to have heart and you have to have knowledge. You have to have ilm. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at this time he's giving me the ilm. Okay, so I said to him, prove this Quran is true. So he said, give me a couple of days and I'm going to go and I'm going to ask some people who have more knowledge than me and I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you. So I said, okay. So we waited a couple of days. He came back and he showed me the verses of the Quran which are linguistic miracles and scientific miracles, and how the child is created in the mother's belly, and this is stuff that's microscopic. And he showed me the language and the mathematics, and showed me how the jabal is like a peg in the earth, so geology. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then he told me something that was like the biggest thing, which was Iman. The Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam calls Iman the sweetness. And it was like a warm bahr, like a warm feeling all the way down me. I'm not Muslim, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this as a gift. It's like, here you are, have a taste of this, and then you're going to want more. So at that time, two things come together. Ilm, qalb, they come together. And I said to my friend, I want to become Muslim, I want to do it now. I want to do it now. So subhanAllah. So she took me to the local masjid, which was the same one as her neighbour went to. And then maybe 3 days later, I took my shahada. And that was the beginning of the journey. That was when I was born. The rest is history. So that's my story.